What's up, YouTube? This is Mathwas97, and welcome back to my SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager mode. How's everybody doing today? We're here in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the October 7th edition of Monday Night Raw. And this is going to be a big one. Maybe not as big as last week, because we did have the WWE title on the line last week. That was huge. But this week, well, I think we might try to focus on getting Kennedy this victory, because he has really struggled. He was once the Intercontinental Champion, and he really has fallen from his pedestal that he once stood on. So we're looking to try to snap the winning streak of Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury. Although one more win and Joey Mercury will hit double digits, so maybe we'll simulate it and see what fate has to say about this. I mean, I would prefer if Kennedy could win, but we have a little while until Taboo Tuesday to actually throw him into the title picture. So we have time to build it up. We can at least get a bit of a news headline out of it, then give Kennedy three wins heading into Taboo Tuesday. It'd be fine. I think we'd be okay if we did that. But as you did see, we do have Batista taking on Triple H in singles competition this episode. That is going to be an interesting matchup to see. I'm debating how to throw the Kurt Angle Undertaker matchup together yet, because I don't really want Angle to win straight up. Undertaker also dealing with fatigue, so I might have Triple H facing Batista, but I don't really want the Undertaker to compete as well, or maybe I'll just have to switch things up a little bit. Of course, Shawn Michaels one more week on that injury, and then we won't have to deal with his sprained wrist anymore, and that will be fantastic for me. Edge also is going to be turning face this episode, so I guess it's just a matter of who does he turn face on. I know I'm going to have him feud with Eddie Guerrero, but should I just throw Edge into some sort of a match, or does he just sort of change allegiances out of the blue? I mean, he's lost his tag team partner. Maybe it's just time for a new look for Edge, just a change of pace. There's also Finlay here, who I don't exactly know how I want to throw all these people together just yet. I decided to put Carlito and Matt Hardy back in there because I feel like they both could use a victory for their popularity's sake. I also threw Kane in there because don't really have much going on with him. Otherwise, I could throw Foley and Benjamin in here. Maybe I'll do that instead. Just to throw a different rivalry into the handicap matchup. And then I could do a singles matchup. We'll throw Finlay up against Matt Hardy. Rey Mysterio can be in Matt Hardy's corner, and Carlito can be in Finlay's corner. Why don't we do that? That sounds interesting. Maybe we could even play this matchup, because Finlay's new. Matt Hardy doesn't get showcased all that often. Maybe. We'll see how things play out once the card is finished. I also want to play Batista versus Triple H. That might actually be the matchup to showcase for this episode. This is tough, because I don't want Michaels to compete, and I don't want Undertaker to compete, but I don't have many people left. So I could have John Cena. Michaels could manage somebody. Michaels could manage... Maybe what I could do is have Kurt... But no, Kurt just lost, so I don't really want... Okay, here's what we'll do. Main event is going to be Kurt Angle versus Edge. We're going to have The Undertaker just spectating the matchup. You know, we did this a couple of weeks ago when, I believe it was... I want to say Eddie Guerrero was involved in a match. It was shortly after Taker won the WWE title. Okay, so he won it in August. I was wrong last time. I said that he won it in December. The Undertaker, he spectated a Kurt Angle Rey Mysterio matchup. So it all comes full circle. Now that Kurt Angle is Taker's rival, he's watching again just to scout out his next challenger, and also scout out the competition, because Edge could be moving into the main event scene at some point down the road. So this is a good chance for him to prove his worth. And all that we have left is Guerrero, Cena, and Michaels. So I guess it's going to be John Cena taking on Eddie Guerrero this week. Because Shawn Michaels, he's not going to compete. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the John Cena-Undertaker rivalry. Those two are not going to touch each other until Taboo Tuesday. And you guys are going to get to pick the stipulation for that matchup. Because Michaels, with all this time being out of the ring, he should be healed. John Cena's not looking too bad. You guys are going to get to pick the stipulation for that matchup. The way that I think I'm going to set up Taboo Tuesday, I'll put all the matches on the card, or if there's going to be like an opponent choice, I'll set up like a demo type default matchup. So you guys can see what the matchups are going to be, and then you can vote on stipulations. Still have to work out a plan for that Taboo Tuesday event, but I think it's going to be cool. Let's really try to run with it and make it work. I'm tempted to do advertising promo, but an interview would also be nice. I think I'm just going to do the advertising. Well, I mean, we're not going to be negotiating contracts this week. That word just completely... This is what happens when my nose is all stuffed, because I tried to say negotiating, but both the way that I speak, I sometimes struggle to enunciate the proper words, and also with a stuffed nose, it just doesn't help me at all. So we're going to interview Kennedy. Hopefully he gets the win this week. This can also give him a popularity boost on top of that. So Kennedy, I'm counting on you to win your matchup this week. If you lose, well then maybe you're just not deserving of a shot at the tag team titles. We'll have to find somebody else, I guess. But we're going to go ahead, get into this matchup. Batista versus Triple H. It's student versus teacher. Let's go. He is here on Monday Night Raw for the first time since, well, he definitely wasn't on Raw in the 2006 series. So, however long you want to count that as. We'll say it's roughly about 90 episodes. If you want to tie together the two GM mode canons into one singular canon, which is what I try to do. Batista making his first Raw appearance. And what an appearance it is, as he takes on the former WWE Champion, the man who lost the title just last week to The Undertaker, Triple H, Batista's former mentor. This is a hell of a matchup for Batista tonight. A great way to make a strong first impression. I know he has had a couple of matches on Raw thus far, but the first showcase matchup, so this will give you guys a bit more of a taste of just what the Animal Batista can bring to the table, just what he has to offer here on Monday Night Raw. As for Triple H, he's in the midst of a bit of a downward spiral, to say the least. The Elimination Chamber match at Unforgiven, it seemed as though Triple H, that might have been his last chance at maintaining his top spot on Monday Night Raw, his top spot in the WWE in general, but that was very short-lived, as he went on to lose the WWE Championship in a First Blood match to The Undertaker on the last episode of Raw. Triple H, that was his match too, that was his element. He had defeated Shawn Michaels in a First Blood match to retain the WWE Championship several months prior. But this time around, he could not get the job done, and he lost his WWE Championship for the second time. And now, he's a king without a throne. A man without his title. Just what kind of a mindset is that going to put Triple H in? We saw perhaps just a bit of a taste of what Triple H could be capable of without his championship after he lost it back in early August. But now that he's gone for good from the title picture, perhaps this will be the wake-up call that Triple H needs to get back into his A-game, to make it back to the Triple H of old, the man who held the World Heavyweight Championship for 59 episodes of the SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 GM mode, the man who was brought over to Monday Night Raw as its champion, who then went on to hold it for yet another 20 or so episodes. Can Triple H find that side of himself? The dominant game of old, the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin? Maybe tonight we'll get a bit of a clue. All right, there's the traditional stare down right there. Batista and Triple H getting face to face. And already it seems like this matchup I mean, there's the personal history between these two men, and you can see it. There's Batista right now going after Triple H, going right after the leg. I can't recall if these two I think that these two have at least faced each other in the 2006 series, but I do not recall the world title being on the line. I know that Batista has had World Heavyweight Championship opportunities in the past, more multi-man matchups. There was a battle royal towards the beginning of the series that he was a part of, which launched Batista into a rivalry with Randy Orton. But Batista just never really gained much traction from there. He was a former tag team champion along with Eddie Guerrero. I know I said Rey Mysterio previously, but it was actually Eddie Guerrero who Batista had joined forces with, who he had worked with to claim those tag team titles. And it doesn't look like Batista's going to be aligning himself with Eddie Guerrero in this series. They did have a bit of a falling out in last year's series over on SmackDown, so I highly doubt that their alliance is going to carry over to Monday Night Raw. Right now, it looks like Batista is just watching out for number one, as he's looking to go after Triple H here, but Triple H with a low blow. Batista, though, well, he's not letting up at all. He's got Triple H by the throat, a two-handed choke slam. And the Animal, he is just dominating this matchup thus far. Triple H, we talk about the downward spiral he's been on, but this is taking it to a whole new level if he were to just get destroyed by Batista here tonight. But Triple H reverses. He doesn't want to let that happen. He doesn't want his reputation to be tarnished to that amount, to that extent. That's what I'm trying to say. But Batista continues to keep up the pressure. As, look at this, Triple H up on his shoulders. Look out, massive power slam. Not even a slam, he just tossed him across the ring. Didn't even use any force to bring him down, just tossed him like a rag doll. And now Batista placing him up on the top rope. Batista is just going all out here. Triple H hasn't had an answer to this. This is not the same Batista from SmackDown, the Triple H that Batista once knew. This Batista seems far more aggressive, far more powerful. He really has had time over on SmackDown since Triple H moved to Raw to really heighten his skills, to improve himself. And now Triple H is almost no match for him. He may have gotten a victory in the tag team matchup last week, but that might have been more so attributed to The Undertaker rather than Batista. Who knows? Just a bit of miscommunication between the two of them. I mean, just look at Batista. Batista is relentless right now. Oh, the game's got him, though. No, it's a counter again. Collar and elbow tie-up. And Batista just slams Triple H. His skull off the canvas. And Batista, the thumbs up, thumbs down. Look out, Triple H. Batista, it's game time. As Batista now, could he be preparing for that Batista bomb? We've seen it in the past. He's got Triple H up on his shoulders again. Batista, massive, massive throw. And now Batista just stomping away on the game. Triple H, he has had no answer to this. Batista has just been unstoppable. As Triple H whipped into the corner. But now Batista gonna send him off the ropes. Batista now. That wasn't what I was going for. Was attempting to hit the spine buster game. Let me do it. There it is. Spine buster. Spine buster by the Animal. And the game is in trouble. There's the thumbs down once again. Triple H, he is in dire straits as Batista. He has just dominated this matchup from the get-go, and he follows suit with a Batista bomb. It's over. Nope, it's not. Rope break is going to save the game, although save is sort of subjective here. As Batista looking for another powerbomb. Wait a minute, Triple H! Triple H able to counter it. Triple H had the reversal, but you can see the damage that his ribs have sustained. I don't know if he can capitalize on that. As Triple H now tosses him back outside of the ring. This is Triple H's opportunity to gain the upper hand, but he took a risk he probably shouldn't have. He's still trying to keep himself alive in the matchup. As counter after counter. But Batista, no, another counter by the game. He's just not gonna let Batista throw him. Well, Batista finally got the upper hand. As now, massive smash straight to the back. I mean, just look at Triple H, he's out of it. How much more can he take? As Batista throws him in the corner and connected with a, I will admit, sort of a weak clothesline. But after all the damage that Triple H has taken, doesn't really matter. Any sort of impact to a wounded man is going to be a substantial one. Triple H rakes the eyes, trying to keep himself alive in the match. Oh, and a low blow! That's how Triple H has kept himself alive in prior championship matchups. But is it going to bring him back into this one? As Batista trying to recover his wits, he's just been poked in the eye. He's just been basically stabbed in the groin. And now Triple H, it's his chance to go to work. Another low blow. Is that all Triple H can do? Just low blow after low blow. But hey, if it's working, you can't really find too much fault with it. Triple H now off the top rope. I don't know how smart that was. It's not usually something that Triple H would go for. It's not a part of his game plan. But then again, desperate times call for desperate measures. As it looks like Triple H starting to go to work on that leg. You cut out the legs, you cut out the power game of Batista. And that's just what Triple H is doing right now. Triple H really wrenching back on that leg. Trying to get Batista to submit, but Batista will not. The center of the ring, Batista's in trouble for the moment. But again, Triple H, the wear and tear on this matchup is too great. As the game now, he's gonna get dumped over the top rope. Batista just absolutely chucked him out of the ring. And now Triple H is gonna have to get back in the ring. Batista calling him in. And here comes the game. Triple H, wait a minute, boot to the midsection. The game, pedigree. An emphatic pedigree by the game. Triple H, he goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. No way. Batista just kicked out of the pedigree. Triple H, after I don't know how many low blows. Oh man! And Batista emphatically brings himself back into the match. But Batista kicks out of the pedigree like it was nothing. And now Batista just looking to go in for the kill here. As there's a boot to the midsection. Triple H caught that one. But again, his ribs are still bothering him. And Batista with a massive shoulder block. As Batista just continues to strike away. Triple H, he nearly just collapsed to the mat right there. He's got nothing left. All it's gonna take is one more Batista bomb to finish this matchup, to put the final nail in Triple H's coffin. 1, 2, 3. There you go, folks. It wasn't quite as one-sided as it looked like it was gonna be. Triple H, though, still dealing from the wear and tear from the Elimination Chamber, the first blood match. And Batista, that huge assault, that barrage of offense at the beginning of the matchup. No way Triple H was going to come back from that. And this is a massive victory for the Animal. He already cements himself as a main eventer here on Monday Night Raw. But how quickly can he catapult himself to the WWE Championship? That we've yet to find out. How did the rest of this show go? Let's find out. The main event, Kurt Angle defeated Edge, as we would expect. Handicap matchup, predictable. Finlay gets the win over Matt Hardy. Eddie Guerrero gets the win over John Cena. And Mr. Kennedy gets the win over Johnny Nitro. Finally, Kennedy got a win. He finally did it. Oh, and there was a pay-per-view. I forgot that No Mercy was coming up, so that's gonna hurt a lot. Plus 200,000. Could have been worse. Oh, man. Oh, no. Okay, no worries. It's just a minor injury. Just a sprained knee. I think that's a 4-week minor injury. How about No Mercy? Only 3.5 stars, so that's not the best pay-per-view they could have had. Wasn't really the best show in the world. At least Shawn Michaels has a full recovery, but we do have to be careful now with The Undertaker. I find that odd because he was a manager, so I guess just having them be managers doesn't necessarily help us. And I just started that rivalry with Kurt Angle, too. I want to do an advertising promo really badly to keep building up that cash. I know we have 3 weeks on the contracts yet, but next week I might have to have Taker inactive. I might have to take him off the show just to deal with the rest of that. Yeah, Foley, that was last week. I already dealt with that. Because right now, well, his fatigue's not even that high. I just find that odd that he would get injured. He should be fine. I don't think I have to take him off the show. Kennedy still wants that title shot, naturally, but we had to end that losing streak first. And yeah, Burchill, he's going to continue to lose, so tough luck for him. Tough luck for everybody's favorite pirate. I guess we'll go ahead and extend some contracts. We'll keep Kane on the show, because we're not going to get rid of him anytime soon. John Cena, he's not going nowhere. As... well, no, it's I ain't going nowhere. Never mind, I was trying to quote a song, but it didn't happen. It did not work. But we can go ahead and throw together our Legend Killer storyline between Edge and Eddie... whoops. Between Edge and Eddie Guerrero. We can try to have that go to New Year's Revolution. I feel like that's too far. Maybe we'll just focus on Survivor Series. And then, after Survivor Series, we can kind of start fresh, a clean slate. I think that's what... well, I mean, Taboo Tuesday, a lot of our feuds are coming to an end. So we'll hit New Year's Revolution, and then we'll really be able to work on the final leg to WrestleMania 22. So we'll just focus on Survivor Series for right now, and that is all the rivalries we can do for the time being. I'll go ahead, I guess, extend... I can wait on these contracts. Let me at least get Michaels. I don't have to worry about him getting injured now. So I'll go ahead and fork out the cash while I can. Otherwise, morale's looking really good. Kennedy's the only one I have to worry about. And I'm already working on that, so not too much to be concerned with there. If we take a look at our fan support, SmackDown really is coming back, but this isn't really anything out of the ordinary. They'll usually do this, but then we'll hit Taboo Tuesday and we'll gain a huge chunk of that back. Then we'll hit Survivor Series. It'll just repeat the cycle. I'm wondering if eventually we could just bury SmackDown entirely, because it seems like there is a limit to how much of a lead you can get, which is also why I'm curious if there's a limit to how much you can be losing, which I would like to try to prove in the 2008 Challenge Mode series if I do actually do that. The thing that I mentioned a couple episodes back. It'd just be interesting to test just how... not really how broken is this mode, but how does it attempt to work a difficulty curve if someone's just not getting it, or someone just... oh wow, Chava really took a tumble from that number 3 spot, so his fame was short-lived. Why did they fall that far? They lost one match, and all of a sudden they're just garbage. So their entire self-worth was just a winning streak? Good to know. Good to know. So we've got Kurt Angle back in the title picture, thank goodness for that. Batista gets a critical win, so I guess, yeah, a couple of people did get some big victories, so that would knock some of these guys down a peg. Guys like Batista, Shelton getting a win, Kane got a win as well, so I guess that's to be expected. Kennedy still can't crack the top 15. Looks like we're gonna have to try to knock Carlito out of that spot if we can, even if just for a week. Although, as long as I can have him by Taboo Tuesday, I think we're fine. So it's not much of an immediate concern. I can go ahead and delete Michaels' injury notice, but I want to keep Taker's. I want to keep that on the back burner because I don't want him to get injured on me. He's my champion. And we can't have an injured champion. I think I'm done for today. Thank you all for watching this episode of SmackDown vs. Raw General Manager Mode, and until next time, keep on YouTubing.